Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I suspect that report coming from Amnesty International played a big role in a little change on how the news is reported nowadays from Ukraine by the Ukrainians regarding the Russians' attacks on their territory. I have to confess, like an interrogation here, that the articles that I used to read up till now, I would say about 99% of them, were whenever the Russians were hitting, and as many, I have many evidence with my, I can use my previous videos. Most of the Russian attacks were killing civilians and residential areas and kindergarten and hospitals. Remember, it was that report from Amnesty International? Well, it seems like that changed how the Russians are fighting or how the news are reported. Let's check it out here. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. So this article comes from Ukraine. The same as the other 99 that came with the same kind of, with titles: the Russians killed residential areas, children, hospitals, kindergarten, those things. Now we have a change of tune. It comes from Sunday, August 7th, 2022. Vinnytsia strike. Russia launches rockets on military facilities. That's to tell us that the Ukrainians are not in towns and cities. They are in actually military facilities. They are in, outside of cities. So they do not expose the population, the civilians, as the report coming from Amnesty International found. So now they will use this for about, I don't know, a few weeks, maybe a week, or maybe it's not a change, it's a coincidence. Maybe I just jumped the gun, but I don't think so, because it's so obvious that right now this is the idea that they try to, to change the perception. As I said, 99% of the articles I was reading up till now were, if you remember, the Russians used and they hit residential areas. The Russians hit hospitals. They're on a kindergarten, another school, blah, blah, blah. And then Amnesty International found that, hopa, just a second. You guys, military, what are you doing around civilians in towns? Hey, you stock your ammunition in schools and hospitals. That's not right. And the Ukrainians were like, bad amnesty. No counter-arguments, just bad amnesty. And now all of a sudden, oops, the Russians somehow hit the military facilities. The way I think I know these guys, this is just a change of tune for a little bit until the whole gets forgotten, about a week, because these humans have an attention span of about what, 3 minutes, shorter than the deer. The deer in the woods has about 5 minutes. So I think we have, not we, they, the ones below 86 IQ, have about 3 minutes, and after that they forget about the Amnesty International report. So let's see what this is about. The Ukrainian Air Force has reported that the Russian forces carried out rocket strikes on military targets in Vinnytsia Oblast. There are casualties. So now they try to tell us that the military targets of the Ukrainian Air Forces are located not in, and the military is not located in the cities, but outside of the cities. And can you believe this will not have, I read it before I started. I have to confess that I usually don't read them. I just go always and read it, and I find them as I go, because too obvious. But this one I read, and I said, okay, I don't want to be, maybe say something that really I'm too off or something. So then I was like, no, it's nothing about civilians. It's nothing about residential areas. It's nothing about things that before were all about that. Now, it says here that strikes on military targets in Vinnytsia Oblast, there are casualties. Oh, so the Russians are not retarded anymore, huh? Like before. And they're hit targets. All right, the source, Air Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Quote, the Russists have greeted the Air Force on our professional holiday. Ukraine celebrates Air Force Day on August 7. Unfortunately, several rockets struck military targets in Vinnytsia Oblast. There are casualties. End quote. Oh my God. Last time when I heard this was about 5 months ago. Details. The relevant services are determining the type of rockets used in the attack. The authorities are also investigating why air raid alert systems have not sounded. Well, they sounded where? Because they usually sound in cities, not in the woods or something. So again, I don't know what's going on here. The authorities also investigating why air raid alerts systems have not sounded. 3 explosions rocked the city of Vinnytsia. On the evening of Sunday 7th August, 2 strikes preceded the air raid alarm and 1 took place after the air raid siren had been sounded. In additional explosions were also reported in Vinnytsia Oblast. No residential area hit, no kindergartens, no civilians casualties, nothing this time. It was just military targets. And by the way, it was somewhere the city was too, it was nothing out in the city, because if they would say casualties, civilian casualties and military targets, what are the military targets doing around civilians again in the cities? I said this from almost very beginning when I saw a pattern that the Ukrainians are bombarded and they're fighting within their cities. And then when this Amnesty International report came out saying that, hey, wait a second, Ukrainian army, you kind of expose your population and you're responsible for them because you're positioning yourself within the cities, and you ammunition, you deposit them in schools and so on, and you are responsible, so that you're in violation. Oh my God, I was like, thank you very much. It's been obvious, because these tards, they kept making allegations, and they're reporting, and they were reporting about all these things in the cities all the time. It was too obvious. In the cities, casualties, residents, citizens, children, 3-year-old, 7-year-old, old lady, this and that. And then you say, why would the Russians hit all that? Just because they're tards? We know for sure that they are criminals, right, according to these guys. And then I said, wait a second, maybe these guys, what are they doing in the cities? Why are they exposing? Why don't you fight outside the city? And if you lose, you lose. What, do you think you're going to stay over there? You're going to create less damage? The Russians will not come and rape and do whatever you say they do. If you fight within the city, there's going to be rapes and they're going to be killing and destruction. If you stay outside, you lose. If you lose, then you're going to be only rape and that's it. Killings, if you want to go by that, because the Russians are like that already, right? So if you already determine that the Russians behave like that, if you don't stay in the city, you eliminate the destruction, right? I mean, I'm just being so, how should I put it, bad here, but they elevated or decreased, degraded the Russian military to such a level that it's like, as I said, the Huns are coming back again. So yes, now they hit military targets and their casualties. Not civilian casualties, not infrastructure, not residential area. I'll pay attention. I keep an eagle eye on this, and I will let you know, of course, if they're gonna keep for a few days this, and then gonna go back to that. Well, to reporting that the Russians are hitting civilians and so on. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.